thing I remember. The next thing I remember, I was looking out my mother's front window, and the neighbor's big cow barn went down. The hurricane blew the sides out, and the roof just fell down. So I seen that.
Was your farm damaged at all?
Well, it blew one end of our cinder block garage out because we didn't have any doors on it, so the wind got in there, and it had no way to go, and it just laid that whole sidewall right out on the grass. But the 38 hurricane, getting back to that, when my dad had chickens, the hurricane blew the roof off the chicken coop. And my mom says he was out there gathering the chickens and putting them down the cellar because the wind was blowing them all over the place. So that must have been something, but I didn't see that. I wasn't here.
I'm not sure if this one applies, but was there ever a time you remember that it was not electrical power running to?
I was trying to figure that out, and I know, I'm almost sure we didn't have power, but I can't really say that we didn't, because we used to visit Mr. Gonzalez down the lane there, which is Hidden Hollow Golf Course now, and he had gas lamps that ran with the propane gas, you know, and I thought, gee, that was pretty neat, because I can't really remember if we had power in our house at that time. We had to go outside and get water out of the well. We didn't have no water in the house and no toilet. So, them things I know well.
And as far as roads go, were they?
I can tell you only dirt roads. Pleasant Street was dirt road. Part of it from Davis down. Chestnut Street was a dirt road. Going to Hidden Hollow Country Club was a dirt road.
When were they all paved?
Well, over the years they eventually paved them, but when I was a kid, I remember the dirt roads.
And so last up, you mentioned all your neighbors were farmers.
Yep.
Can you name just a few of them?
Can I name just a few of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, across the street from Mom was Mr. and Mrs. Albanard's. The golf course is Middlebrook. That was Cardoza's farm. That was a dairy farm. Across the street where I live was the Costa's farm. Down the road was the Almonds. Well, it was Chafee back then, and they sold to Almond. And then down the road was Bob Ray, and then it was Ralston Reed was a chicken farmer. Elmer Reed was a chicken farmer across the street. Mr. Noon's, Wyman's Dairy, her mom and grandpa there. Mike Cardoza was a cow farmer down the road. Then it was Peckham, he was a chicken farmer. And if you go around the corner, it was Sattler's Dairy Farm on the left. Shav's Dairy Farm. Up a little further, they used to get some milk from Mr. Kimball on
Kimball Farm, which is now Horse Farm.
Kimball Farm, which is the Hawkshaw Farm, the horse farm there.
Yeah. Riding and stuff.
Yeah, you go around the corner on the left was Toasty's Farm, then it was Travis and Gavere, and then it was Callisto. It just goes on and on. I can go around and tell you everybody who lived there.
Farms. Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to add? We've reached the end of these questions.
Well, I don't know what
Tell about your father when he went to the market.
Oh, when my father was young, living at my grandfather's place, when he was a cow farmer, they also grew vegetables, and he used to go to the Providence Market on a horse with the horse and team. He used to fall asleep at home, and when the horses reached the Washington Bridge, which was a wooden deck back then, it would wake him up. Then he would go into the market, and on the way back, he'd sleep on the way back, and the horses take him all the way home.
Which reminds me of another question. Your children, were they very interested in continuing farming?
Well, my son John liked farm. In fact, they just bought a place with 20 acres, so he's not farming it, though. He's renting it to the Noonses, but eventually he'll probably do something with his later years.
And he married a woman whose
his wife,
parents have a farm.
Yeah, his
farm.
wife is John Ferry's dairy farm there on Wheaton Avenue.
Do you have other children?
They milk like 100 cows over there, so they're pretty big. Yeah, and they have one son.
And my daughter helped us on the farm a lot.
Yeah.
When we were going to market, she had to go to market with us and sell the produce.
Yeah, 'cause we used to sell everything off the scale by the pound, you know. That's how we done really well at the farmers market versus going to Providence.
You said that you no longer farm land. Why is that?
No.
You just retired?
Yeah, we retired. Well, I worked after my dad. Well, I worked with my dad till I went into service in '61, and I was going to marry her. And I said, well, I better wait till I get out. So I got out in '63, and I can't work for Dad anymore for $10 a week. So we got married when I got out of the service, and I went to work construction work. But I also helped him on a farm. And then when he passed away, then her and I took over the farm. And I used to do all the planting and picking, and she done all the packing. She packed hundreds of baskets of tomatoes. I mean, hundreds and hundreds of baskets of tomatoes. Didn't you, huh?
I did.
Yeah.
Shoulder will tell you.
She did. I mean, you wouldn't believe the. Well, if you look at the pictures of all them tomatoes that were stringed up there, I mean, that'll tell you how many baskets we picked.
And then one day, I got tired of that, and
Yeah.
I went to work, back to work in the office. So that was kind of the end of.
Yeah, we retired
My son
from the
started
farm.
doing the squash.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. When I retired, I put up a greenhouse and done flowers. You know, we done flowers for 2 or 3 years. My big thing was when I retired, I wanted to take over the farm, but my son was interested in it, so I let him do the farm. So he done it for a few years, and then now his farm-law plants silo corn for the cows over there. So we kind of take it easy now and enjoy a little bit of life. I'm 72, and she's getting up there. So, you know, we're in our twilight years. So, well, last year we went out to Mount Rushmore and stopped at the John Deere factory in Iowa and Moline, and we had it was a nice trip. So, you know, you got to do that.
we really saw the farms out there.
We saw the farm
Yeah,
there, and it's
anything
beautiful.
like
If
that.
anybody gets a chance to go out there, you know, it's just gorgeous. It's just gorgeous out there, farm country. You know.
So what did you really like or dislike about farming in general?
Nope, I didn't like anything. I used to get up 3:30 in the morning, go to market with the truck loaded and sell that, and come home, work all day, load up the truck at night, and go back the next day.
But we didn't get the prices though.
No.
Today, I
yeah.
think they do
Yeah.
quite well because everyone has their own stands and
Yeah.
they sell it directly. But
Yeah. Well, things
We
have
felt-
changed. I mean,
yeah.
if we got $1.50 for a bushel of corn, which was 5 dozen back then, I mean, that was decent money, you know. And $1 for a bushel of peppers and 50 cents for a basket of tomatoes. But, you know, things change. I mean, you're talking over 50 years ago, so. I'd like to get the money, the stuff that we did raise that they get today.
yeah,
We would have kept farming, huh?
yeah.
Alright, so what did your mom do on the farm?
She packed a lot of corn. She raised 7 kids, and she packed almost every bushel of corn that went to market. Because we used to pick it in trailers, drive through the cornfield, 2 rows. We used to take 2 rows down, 4 rows on each side, and 2 rows in the front where the tractor went through. Load up the trailer, take it, and dump it under the tree. And my mother would pack it, 5 dozen in a bushel. And then it was bushel boxes, not crates. You put 48 ears in the bottom of the box, and then you topped it off with 9 on each side. It was packed in a bushel box. So it was a fancy package, you know. And that's what my mom did.
And how about your brothers and sisters? They did pretty much the same choices.
My brothers all worked on a farm till they got their license, and they all left. And I was the only one that stayed there.
They had no interest.
Well, no, they all. Well, my brother Dennis got out of high school. He got married right away, so he done nothing. My older brothers, they got their license, and nobody wanted to stay on the farm.
And